What's it like coaching the team, knowing that you got a guy that means so much to the franchise and he's going to retire?
Yeah, I've known for quite a while. He came to me about mid-season and, said that he thought this was the right time. And I think it shows, his dignity, his professionalism, that he's not hanging on like some guys will do, even when they're not going to play a key role. And to be honest with you, he could continue playing. He's a starting player for us right now. He's playing one of his biggest roles since I've been here. So that says everything about the type of professional he is and guy that he is. But he just felt it was the right time for him. He's 35 and he's got a lot of things to do outside of soccer, and he's had a great career. And I think the timing of the announcement was perfect because there's one last home game regular season, and everybody has time to now wrap their head around him leaving, and he has time as well, and his family and all that, and he can focus on trying to help us win another trophy. Like I said, he's playing a massive role, but can't say enough about him. 4 years I've worked with him. I've never worked with anybody as professional and that has the character that he has, and always puts the team first. Hasn't always, played, never complained, was always ready. And when you call upon him, he gets the job done. And like I said, this last year he's played a massive role for us, and he'll continue in the postseason.
Was there any attempt to maybe talk him out of it, or any pushback from you guys?
No, I mean, if a guy makes a decision, he makes a decision. The last thing you want to do is talk him out of something that he's thought about. He's a thoughtful guy, and for him to come to that decision meant that he's been thinking about it, a lot. And doesn't mean that he isn't enjoying it. Obviously, doesn't mean he's not performing well. Obviously, look at where he's at. And ultimately, I mean, he had won the starting job. And he made that decision while he was starting games. So, I just think he felt at 35, that it was time to do something new. And again, I think there's a lot of honor in that. A lot of guys will hang on longer than they should, but he's going out on top.
What was it like when you first got here? He and then the captain, Will comes in, that whole dynamic. Just talk about the early getting to know Jack from your perspective. What do you remember from those early days when you first got to know him?
Well, I knew Jack before I got here. He played at St. Louis under Bob Warming. I know Bob very well, and I didn't know him closely, but I knew him as a player, and I knew him as a person. I knew a lot about him, so I knew the type of guy that he would be. So we had a good talk when I got here. We talked about how he was going to continue to be a leader on the team, how he was going to be named a club captain because he was going to be a guy that I would have here long term. But that I just felt like we needed kind of a new voice. We were coming off 2 years that weren't good. They hadn't made the playoffs, 17th place, you know what I mean? And so oftentimes, you change something. And we just felt it was, and I think he liked the opportunity to kind of take a step back and focus on his game. And so it was good conversation. He knew he was going to be a key guy, play a role in the locker room, be a good leader. And we honored him by making him a club captain, and we thought he would retire here. So, as it turns out, 35 years old, that's a pretty damn good career.
As a coach, and it's like you're big with the psychological stuff, this is kind of one of those things that you don't have to say anything. It just becomes a motivating factor for the rest of the guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've thought about that. Yeah, and it's great because the guys will kind of, I think, bond together even more. You saw it at the banquet. You saw how close the group is. You saw how much they respect Jack. I thought that was a great window into our locker room and our team. I mean, those are things I see all the time, how much the guys care about each other, care about the club, and they play for each other, and that's huge. And we have a chance to send Jack off on a real positive here, and every game will be his last, and the guys will play hard for him.